Hey guys, how the hell are you? This is Islander. Welcome back to the island. All right, guys, we are in for a newsroom. All right, this is where we give you the news of war robots, and we give it to you unbiased and unsugarcoated. All right, we tell it exactly the way it is. If it's good, it's good. It gets a thumbs up. If it's bad, well, it sucks. It gets the thumbs down. All right, and if it doesn't make a difference, then who really cares? All right, those of you who are new to the channel, hit that sub button. Also, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the stuff we're gonna have coming up here. All right, and if you like this video, guys, do slap that like. I really do appreciate it, and it helps me out. All right, guys, we've been talking about it for a while now, okay? And I got on the test server. I played a few rounds this morning just to check out the rebalancing, and the rebalancing is what everybody's talking about, okay? Of course, we have the new bots and the new weapons. One out of the three that I'm impressed with as far as the bots, okay? The other two, not so impressed. One is going to be a big, slow punching bag, in my opinion. Other people have different other opinions, and that's all well and good. That's the fun part of this, all right? We're all entitled to our own opinion. Now, one thing I will tell all you guys, when you're listening to me or to any other YouTuber, hear what we got to say. But in the end, you come up with your own opinion. It doesn't matter what this YouTuber says or that YouTuber says or what Islander says. What do you have to say? That's what really matters in the end. You are the individual player. You are one of this community. Like I am one of this community. We are all together the community, all right? And this is where you get to hear and my opinion of what I got to say, all right? And here's where I give it to you unbiased, all right? The truth is what it is, and that's what we talk here. All right, guys, well, let's get out of that and let's get into this, all right? Well, let's go ahead and go over the bots by bot, weapon by weapon, and I'll give you my assessment on them. So I hope you got some popcorn and a drink. This one may be a while. All right, guys, we're going to talk about the Mercury first, okay? It received 10,000 health buff, okay? The cooldown, 4-second cooldown from 15 to 19. And actually, this is not a buff. This is more of a nerf. I'm sorry. We're going over the nerfs first. And a 1 second on stealth, all right? Now, the 1 second on stealth is really not all that much. Okay, we were talking about 1 second. The cooldown ability, 4 seconds, that's pretty big. Okay, that's 4 seconds more before you get to do your next jump. Okay, but the Mercury has been dominating, and just about everything else that has the abilities has about that range of cooldown. Okay, anywhere from 15 to 19 seconds. 19 seconds, yeah, you know, I would go about. I wouldn't do such a massive draft like that. I would test it at 17 first and gauge the response. And if it's still not where it needs to be, then bump it down to 18 or possibly 19. Okay. As far as taking away 10,000 health, that's bad. That's bad for the Mercury users. All right. Give me a second here, guys. Lost my page. Okay. You know that's going to be a big decrease. Okay. But when it comes down to the end, you know, if you got that extra 10,000 health, okay, and you're in that tight battle, that health really helps out. Okay, I have a Mercury. I don't run him. Why? Because I suck at it. That's why I don't run him. You know, I'm more comfortable in a Pursuer or a Heishi than I am a Mercury. Even though, in many people's opinion, the Mercury is definitely the better bot of the meta. Okay, and I would have to agree. That's why it comes down to you, the pilot, on how you're going to approach them, how you're going to fight them, okay? Can you kill them? Yeah, they're very killable. And now they're going to be even more killable, all right? If you're working on a Mercury, it is still a viable bot. This is not going to clear it off the map, okay? If the Spectre is still viable after the massive hickey that it took, all right, the Mercury is not going to go anywhere. It's still going to be a competitive bot, and you're still going to be able to do your damage in it, okay? Let's go over the Hellburner now, all right? The ability damage from 59.75 to 53.250, okay? This one takes a pretty good shot on the amount of damage it's going to deal out, okay? And the final destruction, all right? When you kill him and he does that last pop, all right, that drops down about, I believe, 2,200, okay? So even less damage on the final pop. Now, if you have the bot that you're attacking and he's very low health, then that 2,000 damage is not really going to do much of a difference for you, okay? You're still going to get the kill. But the overall damage is big. Okay, and why are they doing this? Well, we all know why. We have a brand new stealth bot, okay, and that stealth bot can be run down, and it can be run down by the Hellburner. And this is the bot that I was looking on to counter the new Loki. All right, so yeah, it gets a nerf, so the Loki can have its day on the platform. That's my prediction as to why this is being done. Okay, Loki's coming in. Hellburner is definitely the bot to counter. You put on some nice little weapons on it, maybe a Calamity, a Spark, or some machine guns on that bad boy, an Avenger with the other machine gun. You know, you're gonna be able to run them down and do some damage, especially if you have the quantum radar. So yeah, that's what I have to say about the Hellburner. It's taking a slight nerf, so that, well, actually a decent nerf, so that the Loki can have his day in the sun. Let's move on here. Invader, guys. Okay, this is the talk of the town. You're going to go from 325 to 305. Okay, it's taking a 20k hit in damage. But it's getting a buff on its speed. All right. Those of y'all that have seen me frustrate the Invader with the Pursuer, okay, just by keeping space for him, because he's definitely the more viable bot, okay, but he's also the slower bot. Okay, so me being able to outrun him and have my way with him just by keeping my distance from him has been a big plus for me in the Pursuer. Giving this guy a 4 km/h increase in speed is going to complicate things a little bit. Okay, the approach to fighting the Invader is going to have to change. Okay, the ability goes from 13 to 16. That was very much needed. All right, the ability of the Invader being able to do its jump every 13 seconds was just a bit too much. Okay, they're moving it down to 16, and I'm glad that it's 16, guys. Okay, I'm glad that it's not 19. Okay, I'm glad they're not making the drastic jump that they are doing with the Mercury. Okay, the Mercury needs to be half that. I'd say 17. Try it out there. You know, the ability for the Invader, let's try it at 16. If it's still too much, then you bump it back to 19. You know, if it's not enough, then you just leave it at 13. Okay, and that's why we're going to test things. All right. Now, overall, the Invader loses 20k health. For an Invader that has 300 plus thousand damage, 20 is not a big deal. Okay, if you had a bot that has 160k damage and you remove 20, that's a big deal. Okay, but you're removing a fraction of this bot's durability, okay? And he's still going to do what he's going to do. And now he's got a little bit more speed to go along with it, all right? The fact that he has to wait an extra 3 seconds to use his ability, I don't see it as that big of a deal, although it may be. But in my opinion, this is not a nerf, guys. This is a nice little buff just because of the speed increase that it gets, all right? The damage is not going to affect it very much. By the time you chop this bot down from 300 and 5,000, okay, all the way down to 0, it's going to be a long day at the park for us. So the Invader, it's still going to be one of the most dominant bots on the field. They're calling this a nerf. I'm going to call it a tweak, okay? That's all it is for this. The Hellburner got a nerf. The Invader's getting a tweak. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the Raker. The Raker's getting a damage ability of about 12,000 plus. Okay, that's what it shoots out. It's a ability in the front. Is that per shot? That'd be the question, because I believe it shoots 3 or 4 shots out. So is that per shot? That's going to be pretty significant. Okay, the Raker is one of those bots that not a whole lot of people are using. There are a few of them out there, and there are a couple of good pilots that pilot them. Okay, but they are not a viable bot. They are competitive, but they're not viable bot. That's why you don't see a whole lot of them. Now, these are the bots that I'm going to be mentioning right now that not a lot of people have upgraded, okay? And when you have the majority of the playing community using a certain style of bot, okay, that's when you see the nerfs coming, okay? And this is a constant roller coaster that we have with our developers, all right? They buff something, everybody goes out and gets it, okay? Then they nerf it and buff something else, so everybody changes their focus to that. And that is just the online cycle of online gaming. Okay, it's just going to be a constant loop like that we've been going through for a very long time. And do you think it's going to end in any time in your future? No, it's not. As long as there's new bots, new weapons, a new meta will always be created. Okay, that's why you're constantly evolving your game, evolving your hanger. Okay, my recommendation to you is pick your viable bots. All right, unless they take a significant nerf and they are no longer viable, then you move on to something else. But if you look at my hanger, I'm still running a Heishi. I'm still running the Pursuer. I got 3 of the more new meta bots in there: the Bulwark, the Ares, and the Ao-Jun. Okay, and at some point I would like to add an Invader. But he's further back on the list of upgrades that I have right now. So find your bots that you're most comfortable with. Get your to-do list and stick to it. Okay, don't constantly be rotating your to-do list, because that's where you kind of stay in a stalemate. As long as you're not moving, you're stagnant. So pick out your lineup and roll with it. Now, the new bots are going to be coming in. Yeah, cool. Am I going after any of them? Hell no. I got my roster, I got my weapons, I can know what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Now, the weapons are also going to be getting a rebalance. Okay, that doesn't affect my life in the least. Okay, I know what I want, I know what I need, I know what I have, and I know what I'm going after, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, very little is going to change my current path. Okay, regardless of what Pixonic wants to do, my path is not going to change. All right, so I recommend you guys do the same thing. You take that advice, and if you think that advice sucks, then you just don't listen. But you can't be going on from one bot to the next, or this is going to be a new meta, let me jump all over that. You can compete with the new meta using older meta bots. It is very possible. If you don't believe me, ask some of the people that are using the Leo, okay, out there in Champion League and kicking some ass, because them bad boys are bad and they're about to get better. All right. Now let's go ahead and move on. The Hades, guys, its ability is getting a 2K buff. Big deal. Okay. It's not gonna affect that bot in the least. It's not gonna make any more viable than it is. The Ares is still the top bot. Nemesis, okay, its ability, the 10K retribution, gets a plus 10,000. Okay, now that is going to be pretty decent. That may make it more viable. Okay, just not really big on the splash damage rockets yet. I don't have a bot. Okay, and this is one thing I want to cover with you guys. A lot of you that I've spoken to don't have any of these bots or these particular weapons. So you're not really going to know what the difference is from the current meta to the rebalance. Okay, if you're getting the weapon for the first time, then it really didn't make a difference what it was doing before or what it's going to do now. Okay, you're brand new to that weapon, so you're going to adapt to that weapon just the way it is. So if any of these bots are on your target list, by all means, go for it. Okay, so the Nemesis does get that 10K buff. I'm still not all that with it. Okay, to mention that the best matchup with it is the Tulumbas, which are going to be taking a nerf here pretty soon, or possibly. Now, keep in mind, guys, all this nerf for weapons and bots is not set in stone. Nothing is on the live server yet. These are considerations that they're coming up with, okay? So they can keep them, axe them, or could just completely delete the idea. So, or I'm sorry, not axe them, but modify it. Okay, they can keep it the way it is. They can modify it or give it the axe. All right. Strider, cooldown 2 seconds. That is cool. That is cool. I am cool with that. The Strider is a speed bot. The fact that it's going to be just a little bit more speedier, I do like it. Okay, guys, a Strider is one that you should have in your hanger specifically for Beacon Rush if you play it. Okay, if you play Beacon Rush, you want a Strider. It is a cool little bot. It's fun to pilot. It's fast, and with that one heavy, 2 light, it can do some serious damage just with that one heavy. So I do like that for the Strider. It's getting a little bit of love. The Wayland, guys. Okay, this is uh, the Wayland. Okay, you don't see it very often. It is out there. We do have a few guys that do run it, and it does work great for like a team deathmatch, where you can have your group stick together and constantly coming back to the Wayland. They protect the Wayland, and it's all about the kills. So you don't have to worry about going out and getting any beacons. So the Wayland is a viable bot for team deathmatch. It's not viable for very much more. They're going to give it a 25-meter increase in radius. The repair power is plus 100. And it gets a 15,000 durability. Why? Because it's just a huge punching bag. That's why. All right, when you do get to it, it's just a big old fat Jabba the Hutt slobby looking bot that just kind of sits there and don't go nowhere. So you can just pound on it all day long, let it reheal itself, pound on it again, and just get a ridiculous amount of damage and a silver payout. So the reason why the Wayland is getting such a buff is because it's poo, all right? It's crap. It was a crap bot from day one, and even with all this buff that it could possibly receive, it's still a pile of crap, in this pilot's opinion. The Mender, guys, all right, is getting an extra pulse, all right? It's going to pulse out instead of 3, it's going to go to 4, okay? But they're going to remove 4K, all right? So it's going to somewhat balance out. You might be a little bit on the plus side, but it's not a whole lot. It's not enough to make the Mender any more viable than it already is. And trust me, guys, the Mender is a really good bot to have if you're running squad play, okay? If you're running a Mender and you're running that Mender and you got a pair of Aries with you, they're going to live forever. They really are. It's going to be hard to knock them down. So, okay, so the Mender's going to get a little bit of love. Cool. Not much more to say on that. The Raging, guys. The Raging is a plus 20k on durability of the shield. All right? That is just another big punching bag. Any bot that has to stop and post up to use its ability, it just leaves it stationary. It can't do very, very much. It doesn't have very much to defend itself with. And that goes with all the spider bots that have to be stationary. Okay, you can't move. You got to sit there and take whatever damage is coming your way. So I don't like any of them that are the stationary bots. The Raging, the Mender, or the other spider bots. They're just not a particular choice of mine. They may be for a lot of you guys, and that's all well and good. All right, it is getting that buff to the shields. So I heard somebody say it was going to be both shields. I'm not sure if they're going to divide it equally. That's neither here nor there. It's still a big target punching bag bot, okay? If they were to give that thing the shield plus its reduction and the ability to move around, okay, now we're talking. All right, now you're making it a viable bot. But in my opinion, it is what it is. You're not going to see them all over the field, all right? You might see them in the lower leagues where you can just pound on that shit all day long. You're not going to do any damage to it because of the current level of weapons that are there. But once you get that bad boy facing MK212 weapons and bots, it doesn't last very long at all. All right? The Leo, guys, 18k plus on the durability. Whoa. I love it. All right? This is already a little bad boy on the field as it is. It's about to get a little bit better. I like it a lot, guys. All right? I like the Leo, seeing that the Leo love that it's getting. You know what? Give it one more module. Give it the 3 module slot and make this thing a little freaking killer. All right? It's a solid little bot. 1 heavy, 3 lights. Shotgun weapons are amazing on this bad boy. Okay? Even though the Gust, and we'll be talking about the Gust, my beloved Gust, will be taking a little minor hit there, okay? It's still a viable weapon, and we'll go over that in a minute. But the Leo getting this 18k plus, thumbs up, man. Good job of showing some love to the older bots because it needs that extra 18k, what you get up into Master and Champion League, possibly even Expert, okay? It needs that little plus when you're going up against the heavier bots of the game. All right, and let's see what else. The Galley hat, guys. a 20K plus in durability. The older bots are getting a little bit of love, okay? Well-deserved love. Now give them the extra slot and make them a competitive bot, all right? It's got a solid shield in front of it. It can do its damage. It can be a competitive bot once again with the right tweaks, all right? So this is a solid buff for two of the older bots. I want to see how that Galahad works on the field and see how it competes with the newer meta stuff, and then we'll judge it from there. You know, can it be something to counter an invader? Possibly with one medium, two heavies. I could definitely see that happening. So we'll just wait and see. It needs a little bit more work on it, but we'll take that one step by step. All right. Let's go ahead and move over to. You know what? I got some screenshots here. Hold on. Go over to the weapons, guys. And these are the weapons that are going to be buffed first, okay? The Wasp. The Wasp is the one that has the corrosion damage, all right? So it's going to fire a fraction of a second faster. The damage is increased by 300 per shot. And the corrosion is an extra 100 per shot, okay? Not much I can really tell you about the Wasp. I don't use it. I don't really use it. I can tell you this: almost any weapon that is using modules, okay, is an OP weapon, okay, or is a solid weapon. There are a few people out there that are using it, but there's a reason why people are not using it. It's just not viable enough, okay. And even with this little bit of increase that's gonna get, I'm not sure that's gonna make it viable. This one we're gonna have to wait and see. All right. This one I'm gonna call my boy Lee. I'm going to talk to Adrian and ask them if they can do a video, displaying this weapon once it's ready to go and MK212'd out. All right. Oh my God. What the hell are you guys thinking over there, Pixonic? Really, bro? The shock train. Damn. All right. There's a reason why we gave the shock train the nerf that it got. All right. It was a ridiculously overpowered weapon. Everybody had it. You hit multiple targets at once. Dropping its charges from 7 to 6 and giving it a damage increase from 1920 to 2215, which is about 200 damage per shot. I don't know, guys. I don't think that the shock train needs to receive any more buff than it already has. It is still an effective weapon on the field. It is still used by a lot of pilots. Okay? It is just not all over the place like it was before. And that's something we don't want to be. We've already had the shock train meta. It's not a meta we need to revisit. It's not something that we need to revert to. You want to revert to something, Pixonic? How about reverting to the old economy? How about reverting to the old silver payout in the game? Why don't we revert to that? Not the shock train, bro. Not the shock train. God damn. That's all I got to say about that. Lord have mercy. We're going to go back to that. Yeah, y'all need to, don't even test that. Just give it the axe. All right. We don't need to go back to a shock train meta. All right. Before I get all worked up and lose my damn voice on the shock train and run to the other room and throw a fit, let's go ahead and move on, boys. The Pulsar. Now, the Pulsar is one I like, guys. Okay, it does have a 600 meter range. One shot per two. It's going to move just a lot faster in shooting, okay? And it gets a damage increase. I do not have Pulsars, all right? But I have been hit by them. And they hurt. They hurt a lot. Okay, when they're maxed out, sitting on top of a Spectre, your ass will disappear pretty quick. It is a viable bot, and a viable weapon, and it is just a little bit more viable now. I do like it. It is a huge plus. Put it this way, guys. It's on my to-do list. I will eventually get there to the Pulsar. A lot of people will disagree with me, and that's all well and good. That's why I like to say, you got your opinion, I got mine, and we can sit down and talk about it. I might change your mind, or you might change mine at the end of the day. And that's the whole great thing about having a conversation. All right, that's a good thing about having the video and exchanging comments in the comment section below. All right, that's why having the relationship, all right, with my subscribers that I have. I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. No, I don't have 100,000 subscribers, but I got my subscribers that love to have conversations, man. And I am blessed to have you guys in my life. I really, really am. And I do enjoy our conversations. And when they don't happen in the comment section below, they happen on Messenger. Whole lot of conversations going on all damn day long. All right, even on the work day. So I need to cut that out as well. That's kind of a little crazy there at work. All right, boys. So the Pulsar gets a thumbs up. I do like that weapon. It is on my to-do list. The Shredder lockdown chats, 26 to 34. Okay, so they're gonna move it up slightly above 33% or 1/3% of getting locked down. That means potential 1 out of every 3 can lock you down somewhere in there. That's all well and good. You know, I've heard other YouTubers say that they don't want it to be a percentage. It should be a calculated lockdown. I disagree. All right. I disagree completely. It needs to be a chance to get locked down, not an automatic. All right. And I believe with the lockdown module, now if you got a lockdown module, that one should be automatic. Right. If you're going to bust out 20 or 30 power cells because you want somebody locked down, then they need to get locked down. You're spending on it. That's just like imagine using your quantum radar, and you have the bot jumps up in the air, and in the radar, I mean their stealth ability's on. You hit your quantum radar. Well, there's a chance you might get to see them. Well, shit, you just charged me 20 power cells for some bitch. I should be able to see them. Okay, if you're getting charged power cells for that some bitch, you need to be able to lock that some bitch down. You do. You need to. Okay, so that's what that's for. As far as the lockdown weapons, that needs to be a chance. Okay, we've already been through the early rounds of the lockdown, or the early stages of the lockdown, where you were getting locked down every 5 seconds. Okay, and those same YouTubers that are saying, well, it needs to be a calculated one instead of a potential, you know, were some of the ones that were protesting the fact that there was so much lockdown going on in the game. And what did that make the game, guys? It made it stagnant. All right, you couldn't move anywhere. I was locked down. You were locked down. I locked the guy down next to you, and he knocked down the guy next to me, and everybody's locked down. So you have a whole bunch of people standing still, looking at each other. All right, hell no. I don't know about increasing it. I think on that one I would, as far as lockdown, I would decrease it. You know, I would give it a low percentage to lockdown. You still have the ability to lock down, increase the damage on it a little bit, okay? But don't give it more of a probability to do a lockdown. That's just this pilot's opinion, all right? Ion, getting a buff. All right, cool, good for the Ion. It still sucks. It's still a crappy weapon. Been crappy from day one, and it's still crappy, all right? It's right up there with the Zeus. It's no big deal. Let's see here. The Corona, faster shooting, and a little bit faster reload speed. The Corona is a solid weapon, guys. If you don't have them, put them on your to-do list. All right. It is a good intermediate weapon. It's solid. You see a lot of them in Champion League, and if you don't have it, make sure you want to get it. The Glory gets a little bit of love. Okay. You see a few Glories out there, but if they're gonna increase anything on this, it needs to be the rate of fire. That's what I would increase on this. All right. It's still a little bit too slow. But the fact that it's getting a slight buff completely nullifies the Thunder. If you had a Thunder, put it away, get yourself a Glory, you know, upgrade it, and get it to where the level needs to be. Don't sell your Glory, okay? Don't sell your Thunder. Don't make that mistake, because it can get a buff at any point in time, and it becomes viable once again. Right now, it's just it's floating around somewhere, and it's time to flush. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's go ahead and move on to, oh yeah, the Redeemer, guys. I don't have the Redeemer on this list, but the Redeemer is there. It's getting tweaked, but it's no more, in my opinion, buff or nerf. To me, with the tweaking they're going to do to it, I don't have the numbers in front of me. But it's going to be pretty much where it's at. Okay, it's going to get a little bit here, but take away a little bit over there, so it balances out. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to the Nerfs. The Trident takes a 7 meter effective range down. Okay, most of your shots with the Tridents, guys, people are hiding right around the corner. All right, they're not 12 meters away or 20 meters away. They're like right there. They're waiting for their ability, the opportunity to turn that corner, get their damage in, and get out. So, how bad does this affect the Ares as far as the splash damage? I don't think it's going to affect it very much. I think you're still going to hit your targets. Okay, why it's taking a decrease? That I don't know. That I have no idea why they would be giving it a nerf instead of a buff. I mean, not a buff, but just leaving it where it's at. All right. The damage is taking a minor setback. You're talking about, I don't know, less than 200 per shot. It's nothing. Okay. So this is not a nerf, guys. This is a minor, and I mean minor. The skin on your teeth, minor tweak. All right, it's not anything to be significant or really worried about. Now this one, boys, the Avenger is gonna take a hit per bullet, and when you calculate all those bullets, that is gonna be a huge nerf. All right, you're looking at 55 or 65. You're looking at 55 damage per bullet that you're going to lose, okay? And at long range, the spread is going to be wider, okay? It's not going to have as narrow of a spread on the rounds that it had, so you're not going to hit as many targets, okay? You got to get up close and personal, all right? Which is all well and good, because what you're seeing right now with the Ao-Jun is a whole lot of up close and personal Avenger play, all right? So you're going to see that's not going to change anything. It's not going to make anything. The fact that you can't hit as much longer range, well, that's all right. It's a machine gun. You shouldn't be hitting that much longer range, okay? The fact that it's taking that 55 damage per round, that's where the big thing is. That's where the big changes. But you know what? It's a solid weapon. It's on the border of OP, and we'll test it out. And maybe they can change that 75 to an 800, give it some nerf. You know, I don't know about 55 per round. I'm iffy about that. The Orkin. Big Sonic, why y'all keep screwing with the Orkin, man? I mean, it is a 300 meter range weapon. I mean, you got to get up close and personal to use it. So why do you constantly keep screwing with the Orkin? Now, I know that the Orkin is deadly on a Spectre that has 4 of them and can jump your bones, all right? But that Spectre's got to take the risk and get up close and personal with you to try to affect the use of that weapon, okay? It took a nerf, okay? Does it need another nerf? No, guys, it doesn't. I think it's balanced right where it's at right now, okay? It is neither overpowering or underpowering. Now, if you're going to stack on 4 thermonuclear modules with it, then yeah, it's overpowered. But you know what? Pixar, you brought the modules to the game. You brought that ability to the game. So why bring it to the game if you're going to hold that accountable for something being overpowered? It's not the gun that's overpowered. It's the modules that are overpowered. You want to tweak anything, tweak the modules. Should have never brought them in the game to begin with. The game didn't need them, all right? But they're here now. So that's all I got to say about that. Leave the damn Orkin alone. Tulumbus takes a minor tweak per round, okay? That's not really minor. It's about 135 per round. Well, it's not all that. So it's still also very effective, guys, and especially with the modules, it does some pretty decent damage. Even at 500 meters, it is a very effective bot. We'll see what they do with that. I'm kind of on the fence with the Tulumbus, right? The Halo. Oh, the Halo. What's up? Halo's getting a little rock there, man. I thought the Halo was getting a pump, and it's not. It's going down, and that's all well and good, all right? The Halo is still holds more damage per round than the Gust. All right, but the Halo cannot penetrate the physical shield. All right, it's got to take the time to break through a physical shield, which is why I run a Gust Halo setup. All right, the Halo is mainly for the lockdown, but it is also very solid as far as the damage that it deals out. Oh, my beloved Gust taking a minor tweak of about 300. That's fine. I can handle that particular nerf right there. Let's see, that's going to be 500. That's 200, about 235 per shot. Not all shots land all the time, and even if they do, most of them are going to be at point blank range. So instead of shooting you 7 times to kill you, I might have to shoot you 8 times. I can handle that. All right, with the reload speed that it has, I can handle that. All right. These guys are all the changes that are coming up in this particular rebalancing test server. All right, I've been in there a little bit. I'm playing around. There is just so much to test out. There's just so much. You know, if you're in the test server, get in there, play your rounds, pick your bots, come back into my comment section and below, and let me know what you thought of a particular weapon or a particular bot. All right. None of this, guys, is set in stone, as we have said before. All of this has the ability to change. Okay, so don't hold on to it like it's already written in stone and it's going to happen. All right, modifications can be made, and they probably will be made. There's going to be a lot of negative feedback. I can already gauge from reading all of this on the test servers. Okay, when it's all said and done, and I've tested everything I want to test it, I'll be getting on there to give it my feedback and say what I think. Guys, these were the opinions of Islander. Now I want your opinions, and I'm ready for your conversations, guys. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. What weapons, what bots do you use? Where do you think you're going to be mostly affected by this balance change? And where will you become stronger? All right, guys. This is the Newsroom, and I am your host, and I always love talking to you guys. And until we talk again, guys, this is Islander signing out.